Hi Taurus, welcome to your end of July 2018 Tarot update. It's Rena, shuffling the cards. Oh, you know, it's so funny because, well, I'm going to, okay, you got the Strength card. There'll be like one card, but I want to do these in a uniform way. And I was using another deck. So I'm going to use that deck. Or should I just, what the heck. Since I was using this deck, this will be for your reading. I've been using, and this is the Morgan Greer deck. I've been using the Wild Unknown deck for my other readings, but might as well go ahead with it. Okay. Well, it's funny because you got two cards that connect to Taurus, unless there's another Taurus person that is in your life, which is always possible. But this is a general reading, so it doesn't have to be relationship oriented, obviously. The heart of the matter is the Strength card, so this is about feeling a lot better, perhaps even physically. If your immune system was down, if you felt like kind of under the weather, or like you didn't have the same energy or stamina, you might be finding that, at least in the northern hemisphere, we're talking about the heart of the summer, the time when it's in many places there's a lot of heat, a lot of sun, that you're starting to get your strength back from something that you were dealing with physically. If this is an emotional issue, then obviously it could relate to anything. If you had a breakup, if you have been dealing with being out of work in any way, you're feeling strong. And I was going to say that Chicago song, Feeling Stronger Every Day, okay? And what crosses you is a card that's connected to you. Oh, by the way, the Strength card connects to Leo. So, for what that's worth. The Hierophant, this is one of the cards that's connected to you. And it's in the challenge position. So, for some people, I also got like a couple of other cards that may be talking about, at least the Knight of Swords, about perhaps you filed for divorce and you feel good about your decision now. The Hierophant is about tradition, about the spiritual conditioning, if you will. Well, I'd say religious training is better, because spiritual is more like open-ended, so there wouldn't really, it's not about conditioning. So you may be like going against some of the dogma that you were raised with, and that is part of your inner confidence. However, this is a challenge position, so there may be some blowback from that. Family members may not approve of whatever it is that you're doing. You know, like if it's a divorce, oh, we don't get divorced in our family, and that's wrong. If there's two parties involved, and one is a Leo and one is a Taurus, that could be what's going on. Sometimes it could be that you are ignoring the spiritual side of life, that you're being too much concerned with, like, well, you could say with the Strength card, maybe you're working out and being a bodybuilder or something, but you're not looking at the spiritual dimension. Remember that Taurus is an earth sign. So all earth signs run the risk of being too earthbound sometimes. where they are too like into their bodies, too into their finances, and they identify with these things too much, and it's hard for them to identify with intangible things. So especially if you've been going through some kind of a challenge, it's good to have that philosophical backup or framework from which you can make your decisions, but also just from where you take your comfort. Because otherwise you're just living in the world, and that is very limited, and it can really feel like you're at the mercy of others, because if you're in the world, you're not relying on yourself, you're relying on outer forces. At the basis or foundation of this reading, we have the Four of Swords. So it's possible that you've regained your strength by taking time out. Maybe you have taken a leave of absence from work, or if you have been let go from a job, you are using that time to recuperate. So that's something that can happen. I was just having a little bit of a debate with somebody online on my channel about this idea of losing your job and looking at it in a positive way. And it's not just about losing your job. Anything that happens, you can turn around and make something good out of it by thinking that it was meant to be. And instead, what is the alternative? We look at something, oh my God, it's the end of the world. Because if you, let's say that this is something that would have happened because you are in that state of retreat right now. If you were in a kind of a high-powered job and they had to lay off some people, and you happen to be one of those people, I mean, obviously you have to have money to be able to do this, but it might have afforded you time to get yourself right. Maybe you're running yourself ragged. And the Four of Swords really is about replenishment of your body, of your mind, and you may have been like very close to brown, so it's a good thing. And what it has done is it has given you back your strength. The thing that may be creating problems, and it could be like a timeout from somebody. This person could be a Taurus, and this person could be challenging your way of being. And you need this time out in order to further heal from whatever has been going on. And also, too, it's like you may be taking a break, but you're not also meditating. You may be still thinking too much. So consider really unplugging, unplugging from electronics, trying to really keep yourself in a more relaxed state. The higher message is represented by the Page of Wands, and this could be just talking about something from the spiritual point of view, that you will receive a message that will feel very exciting, and that will be the time when you can go back into action, maybe. Maybe that will signal the time when things will, right themselves. We are having a Mercury retrograde at the end of the month, around the 25th, and it will continue until the 19th of August. So this may be the time to take that retreat. I mean, that could also be the thing, because during a Mercury retrograde, it's like it works better. And also, by the way, we're in the midst of a Mars retrograde, which is also a time of more relaxation than working. And what's great about the Mars retrograde is it ends on August 27th in a late degree of Capricorn, which is a fellow Earth sign to you, Taurus. So that can be, and it's at the end of August for people, at least in the Northern Hemisphere. Sorry, you Aussies, I keep seeming to marginalize you, but a lot of people who are watching this are from the Northern Hemisphere. So this is around the time when the summer vacation period ends. When people have kids, when they go back to school. So this, if you are taking your break, it may be saying that at the end of this Mercury retrograde, at least, that could be the time when you start hearing back. You start hearing news, and that is going to be like your signal to get back into the world. There might also be a fire sign person around that you will be starting a new relationship with. This is an Aries, a Leo, or a Sagittarius. Leo, you always seem to attract Leos because of being fixed signs. That's what I think. The practical advice is represented by the Knight of Swords. This could be hiring a lawyer. Also for your own self, depending on what has been happening. I mean, this could be even with a workplace situation, that there was something very underhanded that happened to you, and maybe you weren't supposed to lose your job. It's not fair that you lost your job. With the Page of Wands, I could also be hearing, getting a new job offer or something like that. What is coming in? This is the other card that is connected to Taurus, the Empress, through Venus. And this is the Earth Mother energy. This is creativity. This is abundance. So, and even love, having a child, things like that. Hopefully, you're not going to find out the reason that your energy was sapped is because you were pregnant, and that the reason you're so tired. But that's possible. That could be like a pregnancy, the mother energy. Also, this could be some situation where money, it's talking about, money, abundance, and things like that. Maybe if you have a new job, you're going to make more money. The Knight of, I should have said, I think I kind of just skipped that. The Knight of Swords can be, for practical advice, can be speaking your truth, not mincing words, being direct in your communication with others. So if there's somebody that is hanging around that you really are trying to move on from, then being direct about it. Not trying to be hurtful, but not giving any kind of ambiguity so that they get the picture. And being firm and saying, I'm not going to do this, and really standing, sticking to your guns. The Empress card for a woman could be suggesting that you are wanting to embody what this card represents. If you are someone, that could even be what happened. Maybe you were a working spouse, and you got burned out through your career, and you decide, you realize, if you're, let's say you are in a relationship, like a marriage or the equivalent, that you would like to start a family, and you don't want to work in that environment. It's just too toxic, it's too competitive and things like that. Taurus people usually like a chill life, you want laid back life. You don't want things that are too stressful. So you may be kind of going in that direction, and the question is, is your spouse in that direction? One thing that I want to make aware of is that there may be somebody around you who's a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, who is either your current partner or the one that you are, I think it would probably be more like the one that you are interested in. And the Page of Wands can be that you hear from this person, especially during the Mercury retrograde, when we tend to hear from people in our past. And the outcome is the Two of Pentacles, and this is a card of possible job offer overseas or far away. Could be like deciding between two people. There's definitely a feeling, let me pick another card just because it's such a Okay, and this is a card of feeling trapped, oppressed. I'm going to pick another card because these are not, it's not just like, oh, this is a negative card, I want to end on a good note, which I do, but it's also because it's not really a card of resolution to me. It's like you feel trapped about something, you feel trapped about a decision that you have to make. I am going to leave it here. The Devil card is a card of, I had such a great phrase the other day that I was going to use. I think I got it from somebody else. But the temptations of the flesh, I would say, which Taurus can certainly fall prey to. And look, we got that Hierophant card in the reversed position. So you may be connected to somebody that is detrimental to you, but they possess something that you feel is desirable. This could be a sexual attraction. Maybe you have great physical chemistry. Maybe they make a lot of money and you like how they lavish their money on you. And you don't want to be with a broke person. But it's still the devil at the end of the day. Oh, by the way, this card connects to Capricorn. So, but that feeling of the Eight of Swords is not a pleasant feeling. So you may feel like there's a part of you that may be telling you to leave a relationship that is a negative one, but you just have a hard time doing so. And so that might be what you're kind of like debating in your mind. Well, it sounds to me like the Devil card is very clear in saying that this person may not be good for you. And so you really need to keep that in mind and not look at the other things. Because, you know, here's the thing. You may have, like, maybe you've separated from a spouse who is like this. And you're thinking, oh my God, what if I have to support myself? How would I do that? But the Strength card, it's like building up your strength and you're going to go back into the fire. Because a lot of times when we separate ourselves from people, we start saying to ourselves, well, it's not that bad, is it? And we try to talk ourselves into it. And that would be very foolish because there's a reason that you got separated in the first place. Always remember what those reasons are, because that Devil card can be like a lure, a temptation that ultimately doesn't serve you. And with the Hierophant in reverse, you're not listening to the still small voice within you. You're listening to the world's, you know, the world's allurements kind of calling to you and saying, come and take of me, you know. And that, no, I mean, that's not, to me, that's not the right way to approach life, is from this position of being tempted to do something that you know is not good for you. Because that person may have been the one that caused you to feel run down and having to, like, get away from that. So, yeah, be very careful of romanticizing the past, especially during that Mercury retrograde period. And then we're going to have a Venus retrograde towards the end of the year, and that could be the same thing, only very much targeted towards relationships. And you're ruled by Venus, so we'll talk about that when we get there. Anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this, Taurus, and if you'd like a private reading, please click on the link below. Have a great rest of July. Bye.